Yo, he's not gonna slap the shit out of Oliver, is he? Oh my god. Bro, get out of my ear. You are nasty. I know your crooked ass teeth head ass does not brush 2 times a day. Ew. Also, like and subscribe. Conquest. The savior of season 3. My little nuanced bath bomb. There are a lot of things that happen season 3, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really care too much about any of it. Powerplex is crashing out. I mean, he's already a hypocrite. He literally did the same thing he's criticizing Mark for. Angstrom, he's a hypocrite too. He's just working with the bad Marks to kill literally the only good Mark. So, as season 3 was wrapping up, I was low-key not really into it. But then... and boy, was I not ready for this, guys. Because not only do I think that Conquest is the coolest kid on the block, but I think he provides more to the story, to the themes, to the characters, and even to the symbolism of the Viltrum Empire than any other character has since maybe Nolan back in season 1. So why do I say this? Let's break it down.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
Conquest busts down right after what can only be described as the 9/11 equivalent for the Invincible universe. My boy Mark is barely catching his breath, and here comes an Avenger level threat. His first line really stands out and he pops Mark, but then after that, something really caught my ear. So far in Invincible, a lot of the fights didn't really serve too much for the character writing. These throwaway conflicts with Machine Head and the Japanese dragon bitch, I don't even know what this guy's on. I don't know. But many of these conflicts, besides Nolan in season 1 and Angstrom in season 2, didn't really hit me all that hard. But as soon as Conquest said,
right about now, Anissa would be telling you how the Viltrum Empire would turn this wretched planet into a utopia. How you would be stupid to resist. I'll tell you no such thing. The truth is, I want you to resist. I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to spread the greatness of the Viltrum Empire. I'm here because I enjoy this. See, to me, there is no greater pleasure than feeling the warmth of my fists drenched in blood.
I audibly went, oh my god, this is gonna be fire. Mark Grayson is somebody who has a very strong moral code. His ideology is so unshakable that he coins his name Invincible straight from that resilience to stand through all adversity. Despite being missing like 14 ribs, 5 punctured lungs, and half a heart, his ideology still stands strong. This is why Anissa failed. She tried to convince Mark that the Viltrum Empire would be better for Earth. Nolan tried to convince Mark through a moral superiority complex regarding race and age. Conquest isn't here for that. He's not here to convince Mark. He's not here to ask for permission. Honestly, he's not even here because he wants to complete the objective. He's here for the scrap, okay? He's here to get his brazen knuckles blood boiled and grit his nasty ass teeth. And if only he knew we have orthodontists here on Earth, I'm sure Cecil would put him on like a 6-month Viltrumite Invisalign program. But it is what it is. Oh shit, maybe he is? Because that's the only reason I can think of for him doing this shit. Regardless, what this quote does, and as we see will do, is establish that Conquest is an unstoppable force. Nothing will change his mind about what he is going to do to Mark. And similarly, nothing is going to stop Mark from protecting Earth. In other words, Robert Kirkman has expertly crafted an unstoppable force meets an immovable object situation, manifested through their abilities and their ideologies. This is gonna be good. They soon turn back to scrapping. This man Conquest is pulling Mark through buildings. He's holding back still, and he's just having fun with him. Bro's putting the Invincible in Invincible. I swear this is crazy. The crazy part is, unlike every other character that's fought Mark in the past, Conquest is truly just enjoying this. This is so well displayed with him just taking blows he doesn't have to, and What the hell is this freaky ass shit? So he's made it pretty clear he's having fun, but he even goes on to try to motivate him by caressing his face. He holds such a priority for this battle beast side of him that he's perfectly willing to put his mission way aside. Conquest thought Mark was going to give up. He thought he was going to give up. That's why when Mark told him to stop, he just slammed him on the floor. He thought he was going to tell him to do what he wants of Earth and let him complete the mission. Any other Viltrumite would have been like, okay, then join me. But Conquest, he stopped him from speaking. He completely ignores his mission for the sole purpose of fulfilling this lust for blood. He puts his and every civilian's life on the line, which, I mean, every Viltrumite does that, but as we will see, his mental sanity too on the line. Just for this might makes right philosophy, which we'll also discuss in a bit. A lot of cool Oliver stuff happens, and by cool, I mean definitely 16 counts of child abuse on the most sadistic things I've ever seen. This little kid is 1 year old, holy PTSD, leave him alone, do not rip him like a rack of barbecue ribs. Oh, Oliver. Mark continues to get his ass beat, and we eventually end up at this desert via Mark skateboarding, which is Conquest's favorite activity. This is where Adam Eve shows up and high-key starts whooping Conquest Harry Potter style, and Conquest decides to comment on their human bond, on Mark's need to protect others, and calls it a weakness. I really like this moment for thematic reasons, and we'll discuss that in a bit. Eve keeps up the damage for a bit, but honestly, she got stamina diffed, okay? Like, she kept it up for like 2 seconds and then she got stamina diffed, okay? But it's fine. They can't be that violent with it, right? I mean, she just got her leg broken. They wouldn't. Oh my, those are guts on my screen. Oh my god. Okay. However, this touching heart-to-heart moment that follows with Mark and Eve was tremendous for the themes of the story. The juxtaposition of Mark and Eve's immense bond, Mark completely lets his guard down, starts to care for Eve right in front of Conquest. He prioritizes somebody else's safety before his own. He's hurt deeply by the pain of someone else. These are things we know well because we're all humans, okay? This is not something new. This is like what you watch in the Sonic movie with your kids, okay? But meanwhile, Conquest comments on how this is a weakness.
Oh, such a strong bond. Viltrumites have nothing like this. It's a weakness, really. Delicious. Oh, I am beginning to understand your affinity for these lowly creatures.
Eve.
Not long now, huh? If you've got anything to tell her, I wouldn't wait.
The ideological difference between the Earthlings and the Viltrumites shows its light. Sentimentality versus loneliness. Earthling versus Viltrumite. Raw spirit versus raw power. Trust in others versus self-absorbed conquest. Then that's when Mark says,
I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are. I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow.
After all I've done, after all this, you still think you can threaten me? I dare say, child, you are starting to impress me. Do your worst.
this shows us the character development from Engstrom's conflict, that he is now more than willing to kill to protect, and we see this incredible showing of indomitable human spirit from Mark. Okay, this is also something he learned from Oliver, when Oliver was telling us that we have to kill to protect sometimes, and that he could have killed Engstrom on this conflict between him. Oliver told us this, okay? Mark learned this from season 2, okay? Eve starts to get up, and Mark is going wild, hammering his fist into Conquest's face. This is finally over. They're gonna finish him right here, right now. This is it. This ends now. Conquest will hurt no more of Mark's family, no more of Mark's friends, no more of the people from his planet that he vows to protect. The Viltrumites' conquest ends now!
Pay attention! I am so lonely. All the other Viltrumites are scared of me. No one talks to me. They think I am unstable. They send me from planet to planet, committing atrocities in their name. And as I get better at it, they fear me more and more. I am a victim of my own success. Conquest. I don't even get a real name. Some days I feel so alone I could cry, but I don't. I never do. Because what would be the point? Not a single person in the entire universe would care. Take it to your grave.
The first time I watched this scene, I had to take a break. I had to stand out of my chair, walk to my kitchen, do circles like a little tiger, and get a snack to think. What a nuanced showing of mental health, of struggle with identity, of repressed emotion, of damaging cultural beliefs. And this all makes sense, because of course it does. This hits us more as a reveal rather than some sort of dialogue for Conquest. And you know, it's funny. I've referred to these styles of characters like Conquest, like Nolan, like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I've referred to them as characters that idolize this self-absorbed conquest mentality. One that neglects human sentimentality. One that rejects anything except raw power and raw talent, being the very best, and that's all that matters. But when you prioritize greatness above all else falls behind. Of course he's lonely, because to conquer every minute of your life, every second of your being, leaves room for nothing else. Of course he's not self-actualized with all his talents, because he has no room for anything else. Of course he is mentally unstable, because he doesn't get to be himself. He gets to be Conquest, given a purpose at birth by a dominating empire, and rules to thug it out. We see Conquest talk about his talent for other things. He is so great at a vast majority of things, but that is not his purpose in the Viltrumite Empire. It is a battle of expectations versus reality, where Conquest has to live up to this expectation because that's all that matters in the Empire. This is how he was nurtured. This is what the cult of Viltrum expects from him, and we see how this damages his mental health here. Conquest being this mentally insane individual makes sense. It makes sense that it's such a problem that he can only tell somebody about it right before he's going to kill them. We see him here tell Mark to take it to his grave so that nobody finds out about this. Because as he said, nobody in the universe would care. This is exactly what a superhero show should be about. Storytelling a message through the fight, through the conflict. We experience a very real human message, a moral dilemma. This is what we're seeing here, and it's what's thematically being explored in the scene. This ideological clash of the humans and the Viltrumites, and what they honor in their lives, in their moralities, in their ideologies. The consequences of being the self-absorbed and focused on strength eventually shows itself. The consequences of being the self-absorbed being and being so focused on strength eventually shows itself. This lifestyle shows its scars. Conquest is a nuanced villain, somebody who's only shown himself for about 20 minutes of screen time. I kid you not, that's like 5 times less screen time than what we've been gotten for like Angstrom. And I high-key don't gaff about Angstrom, okay? I do not care about Angstrom. But I care about Conquest. His screen time has been very efficient. And you can see that with this video. It's probably going to be similar in length to the amount of screen time that Conquest has. Like, it's crazy, the amount of impact that he has on this story. But in that little amount of screen time, he managed to symbolize the ideology of the entire Viltrum Empire. The strengths, the flaws, their way of life is no better exemplified than with Conquest. He even lives it up to his name. Where Nolan was a conflicted man, struggling to pick between these two ideologies, these two versions of himself, Nolan from Earth or Nolan from Viltrum. Nolan from Viltrum or Omni-Man. Conquest is somebody who has reaped what he has sowed in the Empire. Someone who has lived this lifestyle to the very utmost limit. He is like really old. We see that, I mean, with the amount of times Oliver calls him old, I hope you understand that this man is old, like his crooked ass teeth and his nasty ass hairline, okay? You should know that. But now that we have this hindsight, that moment with Eve makes so much more sense. He was commenting on Mark's need to save others all the damn time. We know why now. Not only does he think it's weak to care about others because Viltrum rejects sentimentality, but we can say he's likely a little envious of it. Conquest has nothing except what his very name exemplifies in his life. A strong bond like this is something that fascinates him, and he said that himself when Eve died. Mark worrying about Eve is actually exactly what got him in this position. If that's not thematically accurate, I don't know what is. Now, right after this moment, Eve beams the hell out of Conquest, and now that we know the themes being portrayed here, the themes of sentimentality versus self-absorbed Conquest, the themes of raw talent versus raw spirit, we see both of these come out to play here. Conquest criticized Mark for 2 things. 1, his raw-spirited anger, and 2, his invincible will to protect and trust others. And those are the very 2 things that defeat Conquest in this fight, exemplifying one final theme. The differences we are criticized for are often our biggest strengths, and Conquest is symbolically defeated by them here. Here is where Eve beams the hell out of Conquest. This beam represents their strong bond. This strong bond that he once criticized brought him steaming into the ground. And Mark takes advantage of this and uses his raw-spirited anger, another thing that Conquest criticized, to make sure that Conquest does not get back up. Something he learned from Angstrom and something he learned from Oliver. A thematic, symbolic moment that also brings in development from other seasons. Holy shit. And now that we know the themes in this fight, this scene that follows hits different.
Eve.
Mark,
You're alive.
so are you.
I love you.
I love you too.
I thought you were...
Mark? Mark? Hey. Are you good?
But alas, after all of that, Conquest says one last thing before he's finished here. And it is his last words. At least that I know of. I haven't read the comics, but I don't think there is a phrase that better exemplifies how he feels besides the "I am lonely" speech. Take a look at it.
Nearly. Is this what you wanted? You enjoy yourself? Still having fun? Answer me!
I think the good with the bad.
Huh. I take the good with the bad. This not only applies to what Mark mentioned, does it? Call this speculation, but honestly, this entire video has kind of been that. He seems to take bad with the Viltrum Empire with the good. He very clearly has an affinity for combat. He loves fighting for the thrill. This much we know. I mean, yikes, we definitely know that. While he does miss not being a weapon to commit atrocities, he still enjoys a part of being Conquest. And to him, this trade-off is worth it. Yes, he is lonely. Yes, he believes that he is worth so much more. Yes, he is envious of the human bond, but he has an intrinsic desire to be the best. To conquer others. To race in front in this race. And that is the most Viltrumite trait that anyone could ever have.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Since your pretty eyes, soon as you came in the door, I just wanna chill, got a sack from my store. Right into the money, introduced her to my stove. Showed her how to whip and now she remixing my low. She my track queen, let her hit the bingo. We be counting up, watch how far the bands go. We just set it go, talking about some Lambos. And I with the money, I ain't never let it go. And I get hard with my baby, baby. I just let the world get flow with my baby, yeah. And I get hard with my baby, baby. I be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby, yeah. And I get hard with my baby. I just let the world get flow with my baby, yeah. And I get hard with my baby. I be in the kitchen cooking pies. I'm like, hey, what's up?
I cannot believe you watched this far. I'm honestly shocked. Like, thank you so much. If you take a quick look at my channel, you'll quickly see I get like no views and even less subs, which is kind of tragic. So if you enjoyed this style of content and this video does better than normal, I'll consider making another one about Invincible. I'm really inconsistent, but I really have been enjoying this series and there's so much more to discuss than just this moment. I mean, holy shit. It was like what? A full character analysis on like, not character analysis, honestly, the entire show analysis in a 20-minute screen time window. So Invincible knows how to pack some moments, okay? This man really made his presence, okay? The Conquest is kind of crazy. But yeah, if you want to see more, go subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And anyway, see you goons in the next one. Bye-bye.